Welcome to episode 22 of Podnutz. Today I'm joined with Mark Cobb from Computer Techs in Reno. You can find his website at computertechsreno.com or ctreno.com. He owns his own computer repair business in Reno, and I'm going to pick his brain a little bit, and we're just going to go over a wide variety of things having to do with computer repair, ranging from business to tech to pretty much anything relating to the field. You guys can also check out the first episode of Philly Tech Guys. I'm going to try to have that posted up at phillytechguys.com. It's a podcast that me, Mike Smith from MikeTechShow.com, and Keith Albright from MindOfRoot.com did this past weekend. We're three Philly guys, and we got together at Mike's house, did a podcast, and we plan on doing many more. So you can check out the first episode there. If you want a daily dose of tech, you can check out my daily show at podnutsdaily.com. You can watch it live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, or you can just subscribe to the audio stream. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can still do that at podnuts.com/Twitter. Now let's get into the interview. I'm here with Mark Cobb from Computer Techs, and that's a computer repair business, or it's not just repairs, right, Mark?
Right. I do a little bit of tutoring. It's all on-site service, though.
Well, I guess you could call it a computer tech business. It's based in Reno. You could find this website at computertechsreno.com or ctreno.com. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, some of the listeners might know you from Podnutz Daily. I guess I could call you a frequent caller to the show, and I really appreciate you calling. You always have good tips. You have from a job you just did or a problem you just solved, and that's what I love to have on Podnutz Daily and on this show. So I appreciate you calling in, and I'm glad you can make this show.
Sure.
Why don't you tell us? Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about your business and maybe like how you started it?
Okay. Well, about 5 years ago, or before 5 years ago, I was in advertising I'd been in advertising for about the past 8 years, and got tired of the cold calling and going to businesses, trying to get them to advertising, to advertise their business. In my advertising profession, I used computers a lot. I was always interested in computers ever since high school, and I was always repairing my friends and family's computers. So anyways, 5 years ago, I decided, why don't I start my own computer repair business? I'm good with the computers. I know how to advertise my business to get started. I've got some business background. So I decided to start it, advertised, and here I am 5 years later. I've got probably 1,200 or so clients that I service. Probably half of them I see each year, at least once each year. Last year I think we serviced about 1,100 clients, so I think I'm doing pretty well.
Sounds like it. Is it just you, or do you have employees working for you?
Actually, I'm the owner, and then I've got two other part-time independent contractors, and they have full-time jobs, but they want to get maybe some afternoon appointments or weekend appointments or whatever. So I've got them, or when I go on vacation, they can answer the calls as well, take care of the regular clients as well as new clients. Part-time
independent contractors. How does that work out for you? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's had its up and downs. Right now, I think I've got a good group of people that are passionate about and care about the business and have a good work ethic. Sure. And I've had some of those problems before where people just don't show up for appointments, or they start taking money from me or whatever, not reporting appointments. But I think things have settled down, and I've cut back on advertising quite a bit, so I'm pretty happy with where we're at now.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like you got a good momentum going. Again, for people who've listened to the show, they probably know it's just me and my dad who are the only employees for my business. But I'm going to be, and we started to think about hiring more people. How did you go about doing that, hiring more employees for your shop or your business there?
Actually, I went on Craigslist actually and put up ads there and described what we do and what we expect, and got quite a few resumes that probably in the week or so that I put it out, probably got 20 or 30 resumes in. About half of them I immediately, kind of put in the delete folder. They couldn't follow instructions on the, I kind of have a weeding out process.
Sure.
But and I've got some other, things. If they've had 10 jobs in the last week, that's kind of a bad thing. But I've sorted through them, and then I go through an interview process and a kind of a one-on-one troubleshooting session. And I've learned things over the years as well. My first independent contractor I brought on 4 years ago, I learned some do's and not do's from that, and now I think I've got a pretty good system going.
Well, what are some of the do's and not do's?
Because
this is a region I have, is uncharted region for me, and I'm actually very interested in what it's going to be to hire an employee. And since you have the experience, I mean, if you don't mind, I'd love to know what are your tips about it.
Well, I think it's going to be different in your situation since you have a shop. We're all on-site service, so with on-site, you do have the the tech that could technically go go to a job and not report it, or say you worked an hour when you really worked 2, or did some stuff on the side. But I've implemented some things over time that prevent that. I keep track of the calls a little better, and just at first I didn't really think that people could be that way, and then now that I think about it all the time, I think what could happen. I think that prevents it from happening again.
What kind of things should you look out for?
Well, one, if they don't show up to work on time, or at all. A lot of times, and the reason I've narrowed down, I think at one point we had 4 or 5 independent contractors, and now we're down to 2. Some of them wouldn't. I'd be getting calls from the customer saying, he didn't. He took my computer. He was supposed to call me the next day. He didn't call. Just things that, I was spending more time putting out fires from these independent contractors than I was doing work with my own clients and new clients myself. So, just general. It's hard to say, but general behavioral patterns, I suppose.
I guess so. So what would you recommend for somebody who's going to hire somebody? How would you recommend going about the process? What would you do? I
would, again, I go through the
Craigslist
resume. Go through Craigslist, and try not to get